Hi guys, and welcome back to another video for Phantasy Star Portable 2 and Portable 2 Infinity. So today's video, we're just going to pick the story straight back up from last episode, where we found evidence of the missing Little Wing Guardian members, and there was evidence of mind control, and we also ran into the guy from Black again. So we're going to go and report to Kraz now, let him know our findings, and we'll go from there.
何よ、おっさん。あんまりジロジロ見ないでよね。
全員無事なようだな。なら、連絡の不備は多めに見てやる。
Yeah, so we basically didn't communicate with Kraz for most of the last mission because there was loads of signal problems in the cave that we were in and the underground base.
で、今回の事件だが、お前たちが探し当てたうちの社員も、案の定失踪時の記憶がなかった。
This kind of fits with what's happened previously, where these people who seem to get mind controlled then have no recollection of what actually happens.
何かをしてしまう前に見つけられてよかったけれども、失踪の理由などは依然つかめないままね。
あ、それなんだけど。
どうした？他に何か見つけたのか？
証拠ってわけじゃないんだけど、信じてもらえないかもしれないんだけど、
I'll say, go on, tell him, Amelia. I want to try and encourage Amelia.
おっさんさ、カー種族の村が襲われた事件の後、私とした話の内容覚えてる？
ああ、なんか悪空間がやべえとか旧文明人だとか話してたな。あとは黒服のやつがリーダーだったとか、インヘルト社はやばいとかだったか。
失踪した人たちがいた場所、奥に見たことのない施設があったんだ。
So again, we're kind of tying Inhelt to everything that's happened, so there's clearly something going on in Inhelt.
その施設はインヘルト社のものだと思う。設計とかロジックパターンとかそっくりだったから。
何？
物的な証拠はなくて、あくまで私の記憶だけだけど、インヘルト社で見たものと同じだった。それだけじゃない。一番奥にはあの黒服のやつがいたんだ。ユウトの村を襲ったやつがいたの。失踪事件、黒服のやつ、インヘルト社。明確な証拠はまだないけど、絶対に関係があるはずだよ。
I mean, Amelia is definitely onto something here. There is clearly a link between these people going missing, the mind control, this guy in black, Inhelt. Every time that one of them happens, the other ones seem connected as well.
おっさん。
大企業を疑うっていうのは、そのまま敵に回すって意味だぞ。分かって言ってんだな。
So interestingly, Kraz doesn't just dismiss it this time. So last time Amelia brought this up, he just kind of dismissed it as Amelia being ridiculous. But this time he does seem to actually be like giving it some credence and actually paying attention to what she's saying. I'm guessing maybe it's because Amelia is using like a lot more serious tone this time. She's clearly not playing around, so maybe it's kind of woken Kraz up to it a bit.
私は間違ってない。
なんつうか、 申し合わせたようなタイミングになったな。ウルスラ、行っちまっていいか。
ええ、構わないわ。決定事項だからね。
リトルウィングの親会社であるスカイクラッド社は亜空間研究のスポンサーを降りることになった。
Oh, that's interesting. So the company that we're sort of part of, Skyclad, they've now cancelled their involvement with anything to do with the subspace research program, which is obviously run by Inhelt. So we're probably not going to be best friends with Inhelt anyway.
うちだけじゃないわ。続々と他の企業もスポンサーから降りている。
So I'm guessing a lot of the companies are probably pulling out just because of all of the monster uprisings and the machines going berserk and everything every time there's a subspace experiment. But it's now clear that there is probably more to this than meets the eye, and that Inhelt are maybe doing things behind the scenes.
実質積極的に動いているのはもうインヘルト社だけになってるわ。
That, however, is slightly worrying that Inhelt are now the only ones researching subspace.
どうして？
亜空間発生実験の影響で原生生物が暴れ出すってことが分かったんだよ。
Yeah, so just as I said, every time there was an experiment, all of the monsters, all like the native life was going crazy. Again, I realised PSP2 was kind of done as a bit of an homage to PSO in some degrees, and this is kind of one place where I feel like that's the case, because obviously native wildlife going aggressive is a very key theme of PSO.
お前たちはインヘルト社での事故とこの前の実験の事故に立ち会ってるからよく知ってるはずだ。
亜空間が生み出された際に周囲にいる人の思考が具現化するという不可思議な現象も確認されてしまったの。
So you would think if that was the case that this would be a terrible idea to research, because if the thoughts of anyone who's present become real when subspace is formed, that just seems like a terrible idea. And now we know that Inhelt are the only company involved with this. This seems like a really, really bad idea.
それを受けて亜空間研究の継続について各社が異論を唱え始め、結果としてみんな手を引いていっているというわけ。
Yeah, so it's clear now that there is this big uprising against Inhelt now, and people are dropping support for it left, right, and centre.
思考が具現化？それって思ったことが形になるってことだよね。ねえ、それじゃあさっきシードが現れたのもそれが原因？
That would make sense, because obviously the seed were purified 3 years ago, but yet they were still showing up. So if someone has thought about bringing the seed back and created subspace, then that would mean the seed would come back. It must be, yeah.
だよね、そうだよね。となると、あの施設は亜空間発生実験を行うためのもの？
おい、二人で話し込まずに何があったのかきちんと報告しろって。
あ、
虚空から現れたシートか。確かに封印されちまった今となってはその具現化現象を疑うのが可能性としては一番だろうな。
And again, you can see that Kraz is now he's not just dismissing what Amelia's saying anymore, he's actually paying attention to it now. Even something as outlandish as the seed just coming back from nowhere, he's now thinking, well, this could actually be a realistic thing that is happening with this subspace experiment.
形を残さず消失するという特徴も具現化現象の報告にある通りだし、間違いないわね。
こいつらの言うことを信じるしかなさそうだな。
本当？
I think Amelia's genuinely surprised, because I think she's so used to Kraz sort of dismissing everything she says.
その黒服のやつが主犯格だろうから捕まえられれば一気に解決しそうだが、まだインヘルト社と繋がってる証拠は薄い。まずはその辺を探っていかねえとな。
Does sound like Kraz is firmly on our side of trying to sort of prove Inhelt's guilt now.
とりあえずお前たちはしばらく休んでいいぞ。この件については俺が預かっておく。
おっさん、私の言うこと信じてくれるの？証拠もないのに。
何度も言わせんじゃねえよ。仕事の邪魔になるからさっさと帰れよ、ほら。
信じてくれたんだよね。私の話を聞いて笑いもしなかったし怒りもしなかった。おっさんもちゃんと私の話を聞いてくれたんだ。なんだろう、この気持ち。よくわかんないけどすごく心地いいものだね。
I like how I've got this really triumphant music playing in the background just because Kraz believes Amelia. Okay, so we've got some more missions. This normally means that we need to do an open mission. It's got Burning Snow, Caves of Ice, Lonely Laboratory, Wayfarer in White, Secret Pub. And we have people who want to talk to us, so I suspect this might be quite a dialogue-heavy episode.
またかよお前。今度はなんだ。
コーディネーター資格ゲットだよ。
本当にお前は資格マニアだな。栄養士、トリマー、助産師、美容師、看護師に他なんだっけか。
So it's quite clear that Chelsea is quite a fan of broadening her skill set, shall we say?
ジュエリーコーディネーター、ネイリスト、ニューデイズ言語検定1級、医療事務、細胞検査士、ダンス教師、ライフセーバー。
てか取りすぎ。資格取るのはいいけどさ、何に使うの？
使わないは関係ないね。これは趣味みたいなものだから。
Yeah, so a hobby is basically just collecting qualifications, even if she never uses them.
でも、助産師の資格は早く使ってみたいね。
Oh god.
エミリア、いつ産んでも大丈夫よ。
Might be some slight issues with that, Chelsea. Let's move on, shall we?
バカ野郎、何言ってやる。
Yeah, I think we can safely say certified crazy for sure.
なんでおっさんが怒るのよ。
うるせえ。ほらお前ら、さっさと散れ。
Well, that was an interesting conversation. And we'll leave it at that. Anyone else want to talk? Raz isn't bothered, he's too obsessed with looking at his girls in bikinis again. Which, you know, fair play to him. Ursula does want to talk though.
あなた、自分がうちの稼ぎ頭になってるって気づいてた？
Are you too kind?
入社してからまだそう経ってないのに大したものよね。
I do like how you say it. That's how I roll.
自信を持ってくれていいのよ。自分の能力を疑うといずれチャンスを逃すわ。肝心の決断ができずに誰かを悲しませたりするとかね。
The way that she says that there and the way that her voice sounded as well, that to me kind of sounds like she has personal experience of that.
なんでもないわ。それよりあなたのパートナー、いえ、弟子とでも言った方がいいかしら。
Yeah, especially the way she reacted there. There's definitely something more to what she said there.
あの子成長したわね。あんなに笑顔を見せるようになるなんて最初ここに来た時には想像できなかった。これからも一緒にいてあげてね。一人で残されるっていうのは辛いだろうからさ。
Again, that trust me at the end. She clearly has some previous experience of doing something and then being alone. So again, it's tying to this. There's this sort of hint that she's been in a relationship in the past, and given that there has been that hint of knowing Kraz before, it kind of put two and two together. The game is very obviously hinting at what her past is. So she just want to talk again, actually.
ねえチェルシー、今度リゾート地区すべてをつなげてラリーイベントをやろうかって思ってるんだけど。
これってプラント中に原生生物を放すってことよね。危なすぎるよ。
でもこのくらい刺激がないと集客できないじゃない？
なんつうかすんごい規模の話してるよね。ウルスラさんのプランや決断でリゾート地区、このクラッド6全体が動くんだよ。
It just kind of feel like whatever Ursula envisions just happens.
リトルウィングのこんなちっこい部屋で決められてるなんて、なんかちょっと申し訳なくなるわ。はあ、でも一度は行ってみたいよね、リゾート地区。私パンフレットしか見たことないけど。
That there says a lot about the relationship between Kraz and Amelia. The fact that he's looked after her for a long time, but she's never been to the resort district on Clad 6, which is on Clad 6 anyway.
リゾート地区って何なんだ？どんなものがある？一番の目玉はマリンリゾートかな。人工の海に豪華客船もあるし、他には山岳リゾート、スパリゾート、あとは太陽系中の美術品が集められた美術館や博物館、スカイクラッド社の関連企業によるショッピング街もあるって。よくわからないけど、何でもあるんならきっと狩りとかもできるんだな。
Yeah, just showing how disconnected you is from everyone else's life, really.
残念ながらあんたみたいなのは絶対に入れない場所だから。危険って意味でもお金的にもね。入るためにお金がいるのか？なんだかよくわからない会話だな。
It's basically just referring to everywhere as a hunting ground. Again, just I guess it speaks of how he was brought up.
いや、だからそもそも狩り場じゃないっつーの。
Okay, is anyone else? So it looks like Lena wants to talk to us.
あんたか。いや、今この子にグラールの歴史を教えてたんだけど、カーシュ族にとっては信じがたい話だったみたいで。
僕の村にはヒューマンもニューマンもビーストもキャストもみんないる。仲良しで喧嘩はしても争いはしない。種族の違いを気にすることもなかったし、大地に人が生まれた時からずっとそうだって。
ただ史実というのは事実だからこそ今まで残されてるんだよ。ビーストはモトゥブを開拓する際にあの悪環境に耐えられるように遺伝子を改造された種族。簡単に言えば奴隷さ。
So even this has kind of ties to all the Phantasy Star games as well. You know, obviously, if you go to somewhere like PSO, humans were the original race and everything else was created by them. So again, there's a lot of sort of links that link it to previous Phantasy Stars. I don't just mean PSO as well, obviously it goes further back.
ニューマンはフォトン技術の向上のために精神力を強化するよう遺伝子改造された種族。ま、いわば実験体よね。キャストはマシナリーから進化した種族。最初はヒューマンの道具という認識しかされてなかった。長い間にそれぞれの種族が対立して戦争にまで発展したわ。それも500年にもわたる長い戦いにね。
You would think that they would all war against the humans, really, wouldn't you? Because the humans are the ones that have created them all as slaves or test subjects.
500年？そんなに戦わないとみんな仲良くなれなかったのか？
そうだね。バカみたいだよね。でももう今は違うからさ。カー種族は昔からどの種族も受け入れてきた。争わなくてもいい方法や考え方も知ってた。そういう考え方の人ばかりだったらきっと歴史は違ってただろうね。
So interesting on that because it does give a bit of background to the history of Goral and how the races came to be. So we do also have something from Kuno.
シードが再び現れたと聞いた。厄介なことだな。人々の心の中にはシードの恐怖が根強く残っているはずだ。それこそパニックを起こしかねんほどにな。たとえ熟練の兵士であっても体を侵食される恐怖などは到底克服しようがない。心というのは存外に弱いものだぞ。特に不安定な心はなおさらだ。たった一言で全てが崩れ去るほどにな。何の話をしているのだろうな、私は。今更何を言っても変わりはしないのに。すまない。今のは忘れてくれ。
Yeah, so Kuno is clearly quite troubled about the siege coming back again. I think she's more worried about how people will perceive it. So plenty of people wanting to speak to us at the minute.
化けるものだな、子供というのは。いや、いきなりですまない。エミリアの話だ。あの子を初めて見たときはどうしようもないと人事に思っていたが、蓋を開けてみればどうだ。お前の指導が良かったのか、本人の努力か、俺には判断つかないが変わったものだな。だが変わり始めた段階というのは不安定で危険な状態でもある。ましてやあの子はまだ若く幼い。何か言いたいことがあっても言えず溜め込んでしまってパンクするかもしれん。お前がしっかり支えてやるんだぞ。
I do feel like every time we talk to Vask, he's basically just saying, watch out for Amelia, will you? So I think that's it for now. So what we'll do is we'll quickly check the gear in the shop, and then I'm assuming we'll probably have to do a free mission. So do we have any new armors? Yeah, nothing much there really. I do wonder if you're ever going to sell B rank weapons. That would be very nice. But no such luck yet. We did get this B rank laser cannon last time, which is probably terrible, but so I'm assuming that we need to do a free mission next. Take up missions while awaiting further instructions. Fair enough. So we'll bring the squad along again. So go and take a free mission. Tend to find this at the beginning of each chapter that it tends to ask you to do a free mission first. Or open mission as they're called in this. So what do we actually have now? So we've got nothing new for Param yet. We still don't really have a whole lot of missions, to be honest. Let's do... yeah, let's do this laboratory one, I guess. Could technically do it in B rank, but that would be a terrible idea because level 65 enemies. So we'll just do it in C. Okay, so it looks like some fire enemies here, so... I don't actually have any fire armor, but we should be okay. So I feel like the story is getting fairly interesting now. You know, we're starting to find out that Inhelt are probably doing some shady research with the subspace experiments. We now know that when they create subspace, they can actually manifest things. So we've now seen that with the seed, so we think that the seed have probably come from being manifested by subspace. It does beg the question of if they can make anything from creating subspace, having it in the hands of someone who's clearly up to no good is probably a terrible idea. So it does feel like we need to stop that guy in black pretty soon. Yeah, I feel with PSP2 that sometimes it does take a little bit to get going, but I think we're at the stage in the story now where things are starting to pick up and it's starting to become a bit more interesting. That was quite dirty actually. It puts a trap up as soon as you break the boxes. I've never been a huge fan of these maps. They do feel like a bit of a maze sometimes. I think we do have some Varas behind us actually, so we need to be a bit careful of that. Or a single Vara, as the case may be. Yeah, I always think it's quite interesting with PSP2 though that you can see kind of where they've got the inspiration from using PSO as well. There are clear some parts of the story are very clearly inspired by the events of PSO. Again, I mean, the reason for that is probably because this was done as like a 10th anniversary game. I can't remember if it was PSP2 or Infinity that was the 10th anniversary one. It wouldn't surprise me if it's based PSP2 because there is a lot of things from PSO in the game, so, you know, we've seen PSO enemies and so on as well. That looks like a very obvious trap. Dodge it. So we may end up adding that laser cannon to our weapons that we can use, possibly. I mean, the one we got is pretty terrible, but laser cannons are a pretty interesting weapon because they're actually piercing, so for situations like that there, it could have been quite useful. Plenty of traps in here. We've got a 4-star rod. Just in case I ever want to play Focus Seal. To be fair, you can kind of get away with it in this. To an extent. It's kind of weird with the gear in this though, because the shop seem to be selling a lot of the, you know, they're starting to sell B rank armors and B rank SUV units, but there's no sign of any B rank weapons. I genuinely can't remember if the shop ever gets them, or if it's just a case of finding the weapons. Alright, so do have a champion one, so we need to just be a little bit careful of that guy. Because he does hit pretty hard. So it seems to be many fire enemies here, so if we ever do this again, we just have to remember to bring some fire armor. So our auto heal doing work there. It's actually a really useful ability, that. I really need to clear my inventory out at some point. I've got so much junk in it. So, not too bad this quest, it's fairly simple for the most part. I've also thought it's a bit of a strange decision with PSP2 that you kind of have to do these free missions every so often. Because you're essentially just doing it just so you can advance the quest a bit more, advance the main story. So shotgun doing work here because a lot of narrow corridors, so it's a lot easier to sort of combo the shots on enemies at close range. May as well use a trimate if there's one there. So I've got no idea how many blocks this is. I would assume it's 3 or 4. These big guys are kind of annoying because they're, if you go alongside them, they can sort of spin to the side really quickly, catch you out. They don't do a huge amount of damage, but they're enough to be annoying. B-rank partisan. So we are starting to get some slightly better drops at least. Safety first, apparently. Good thing about the shotgun charge shot is it does knock things over. Nice, level 22. I think that's 2 levels from this quest so far, so we're doing pretty well. Okay, so we clearly can't come in from this way. There's a hidden warp point here. Which also has traps everywhere. I realise that the main way to play this is to like chain up and then use your charge. But honestly, the way that the shotgun charge shot works, sometimes it is just worth using it uncharged. Just for the knockdown. The damage is still pretty decent anyway. Like that. Just makes the spawns a lot easier to deal with because you can just knock everything down. See, it's much quicker than just building the chains. I mean, there are some situations where you do want to build chains, definitely, and particularly at a higher level as well, you will build chains up more often. But at the minute we can kind of get away with just spamming the charge. Oh, nice, someone paralyzed it. Certainly makes it a bit easier to deal with. So we do have a fourth block, but there is a heal here, so I'm going to assume it's like a mini boss. I didn't actually look at what we're fighting at the end. I'm going to guess that you're not the mini boss. Interesting, we do have enemies from Mortube and New Days here. I'm going to assume that you're a mini boss. Or would that end the quest with one? You really hurt. Unfortunately, like most things in the game, apparently, they're bullet resistant. Yeah, I'm going to use it on you because you scare me. I'm actually going to heal a bit more because I don't trust how much damage this thing will do. I think we might get into the spawn after this though, potentially. The first one that we fought did do a lot of damage because it was a buff one. I think it's probably still going to hurt, and yes it does. But not as bad as the first one that we fought. This should be the easiest of the three, technically. It kind of weird in that there's just 3 spawns of 1. I was kind of thinking it would end with like a double spawn. Our type level is taking a while to go up now though, for sure. And as usual, the rare is Escape Doll, because you don't really get many rares at this stage in the game. Essentially, pretty much every rare you get will be usually Escape Doll. Alright, so that's our open quest done. So we'll go and see what Krasnet has to say.
Oh, 来たな。
おっさん、インヘルト社のことってどうなった？
まあ落ち着けって。それにも関係ある話だからよ。だがその前にだ。
インヘルト社が緊急の会見を行うそうよ。これから生中継が始まるわ。
This could be interesting. So we know that a lot of places have pulled out of Inhelt, and now they're going to hold an emergency press conference.
大方新規スポンサーの募集と今後の方針についての話でしょうね。チェルシー、ニュースをつけて。
オッケーね。
グラールチャンネル5ヘッドラインニュースキャスターのハルです。今日のニュースをピックアップ。本日は緊急特番。
I do like just this little note that every time we get a news report, the bit at the top right always says the same. It's like they couldn't be bothered changing the header, so it's just always increased construction of Guardian's Colony.
スポンサー撤退に揺れる亜空間研究。インヘルト社の緊急会見をクローズアップ。夏目秀代表取締役とそのご子息であるしずるしゅうさんの会見の模様を生中継。ではどうぞ。
Alright, let's see what Inhelt have got to say. And yeah, if you haven't noticed yet, yep, there is our guy in black.
なんだよエミリア、うるせえな。ニュースが聞こえねえだろ。
あいつ土神様を奪ったやつ、あいつ悪いやつだ。
なんですって？
あいつだ。間違いない。見間違うはずない。ねえ、あんたも見てよ。あいつ間違いないよね。
It does appear to be the guy in black. No doubt about it.
しずるしゅう。あいつが黒幕だ。
Yeah, so this guy in black that's been sort of prevalent in the story so far is Shizuru Shu, and he's the son of the CEO of Inhelt.
もう一回確認するぞ。今さっきニュースに出ていた夏目秀の息子、しずる秀がお前たちの言う黒服のやつなんだな。
It does appear to be that way.
そしてその黒服のやつがカーシュ族の村を襲ったり失踪者を操り、うちのコロニーを襲わせたりしたと。
そういうこと。
3人ともが同意見。しかもその事例は一度だけじゃない。どう思う、クラウチ？
どうもこうも、そこまで一致したら調べないわけにはいかねえだろうな。調査方針の変更ってのもちょうどいいっちゃちょうどいい。共同調査に切り替わるタイミングだしな。
共同調査？失踪事件に関する調査をガーディアンズとリトルウィング共同で行うことになったのよ。
I mean, that voice can only do one person, really, can't it?
その声は
Exactly.
こんにちは、エミリア。相変わらず元気そうね。やっぱりルミア。どうしてこんなところに？
I do like that Lumia is like, oh, you're looking well, Amelia. And Amelia's just, what are you doing here?
今のクラウチさんの話聞いてた？リトルウィングとの共同調査にあたって橋渡し役として来たのが私。
なんだ、お前ら知り合いだったのか。じゃあこのお嬢さんの相手は任せたぜ。クラッド6の中でも案内してやんな。
クラウチさん、私は共同調査のために派遣されてきたのですが。
そのつもりだったんだが、いい情報が手に入ったんだよ。あとは俺一人で十分だ。
It is interesting that Kraz has obviously taken this news about Shizuru very, very seriously.
私だってガーディアンズの調査部所属です。決して足手まといには。
足手まといとは言ってねえよ。ただお嬢さんと一緒だと使えない手とかも出てくるんでね。調査部ってんなら分かってると思うが、こういうのは隠されちまう前にどれだけ調べられるかが肝だ。悪いがスピード重視ってことで今回は一人でやらせてくれ。
それでは私に仕事もせずに休んでいろというのですか？
そうは言ってねえよ。もう一つガーディアンズからは共同の依頼を出されてるじゃねえか。
戦闘用 VR プログラムの試験運用ですね。
This fills me with the dread. You know, having just done the episode 2 lore playthrough for PSO, I've already been through a VR simulator recently.
VR プログラムってなんだっけ？
うちのコロニーにもともとレジャー施設やスポーツ施設用として用いられていた仮想空間システムのことよ。これがあればさまざまな環境や状況などを自由に再現することができるの。今回はそれを戦闘フィールドに利用して実践的な訓練をやってみようというわけなの。あなたたちはそのモニターってわけ。
仮想空間とかモニターとか難しいことはよくわからないぞ。
かいつまんで説明すると、夢の中で戦って強くなろうってこと。
I think that's probably about the best you can explain it. I do like there that you say not even close. It is something like that.
だよね。夢と違うところといえば痛みを感じるってことぐらいでしょ。ユートに分かりやすく言えば絶対に死んだりしない修行よ。
死なない？それで修行になるのか？全然そうは思えないぞ。
Yeah, this is probably very weird to Ute because obviously Ute is all, their teachings are all about like, being close to death to get stronger. So he probably finds it quite hard to believe that a VR sim could be of any use to him.
まあやってみりゃわかんだろ。ほれほれ、ガーディアンズのお嬢さんもエミリアたちもさっさと行ってこい。それが終わるぐらいまでには調査もきっちり終わらせておくからよ。
VR 施設は同じコロニー内だけど比較的遠い場所にあるからマイシップで移動していくといいわ。ああ、ちょっと待ってもらえる？あなたに聞きたいことがあるの。
じゃあ私たちは先にマイシップに行ってるから。
さて、冗長に話すのは私の流儀じゃないし、単刀直入に聞くわね。最近クラウチが真面目に仕事をするようになってきてるのはあなたのおかげだったりする？
I'm not sure if it is me directly. I would say it's probably me and Amelia jointly, to be honest. As much as I love flattering Ursula, I think that Amelia does deserve some credit for this.
エミリアか。確かにあの子の影響も強いと思うけど、そのエミリアを変えたのは誰かしら。あなたが来てからクラウチもエミリアもいい方向に変わってきてるのは間違いないわ。クラウチが調査を申し出たりするなんて、まるで昔のあいつを見てるみたい。
Again, she's sort of referencing like Kraz again. So yeah, again, very, very clear that there is something between them two.
あ、ごめんなさい。あなたにはわからない話ね、これは。あなたのおかげでクラウチは、いいえ、リトルウィング全体がいい方向に変わってきてるわ。あなたは今のリトルウィングにとってなくてはならない存在なのかもね。
I'll take that.
話はそれだけ。さあ、エミリアを追いかけてあげなさい。
So Ursula has obviously noticed the difference in not only in Amelia but in Kraz as well, and she thinks that it's down to us being here. Whether that's true or not, I've got no idea. But it's good to know that Ursula has noticed a positive trend in how Little Wing is going. So we'll end that one there for today, just before it gets too long. Next episode, we will go and do this VR simulator and try and get through that, while Kraz is trying to figure out a bit more about Inhelt and Shizuru, and what exactly Shizuru is doing behind the scenes. So yeah, we'll end that one there. As usual, if you enjoyed the episode, please consider liking, subscribing, or joining as a member on YouTube. Members get priority access to this series, so you'll get a couple of days access to it before it goes live to everyone else. I also stream a couple of times a week, so normally on a Sunday and a Wednesday, on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, so you can follow me over on Twitch at Section Skylight as well. And also you can follow me on the usual channels like Twitter at Section Skylight, and we also have a Discord you can join as well, which I'll leave a link to in the description. Yeah, hope you're enjoying the playthrough, and I'll see you guys in the next one.